At around 7 p.m. on Friday, officers were called to reports that 3 teens had been stabbed in Nunnery Lane in Luton, England. Tragically, a 16-year-old boy was stabbed to death. He was rushed to hospital but tragically pronounced dead shortly after. A further 2 teenagers are fighting for their lives. One is facing life-threatening injuries. The other suffered serious wounds but isn't being treated as critical. A murder investigation has been launched. 3 teenagers have already been arrested in connection with the fatal stabbing. A few hours prior to this horrendous attack, 2 other teens were also stabbed in Sundon Park Road, again in Luton, England. One of the teenagers from that stabbing incident is now in a critical condition. One man has been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder in regards to that double stabbing. It's believed that both stabbing incidents are connected, but the nature of that connection isn't discussed within this article. My guess, and it is a guess and I could be wrong, is gang crime fueled by drug dealing. That would be my guess, could be wrong. The names of the victims and the names of the suspects have not been released at this point. Perhaps they will be soon. And with that, that's all the information that we have. So I'm going to say full condolences, of course, to all family and friends of all of the victims. One 16-year-old boy stabbed to death at around 7 p.m. on Friday. 2 other teenagers fighting for their lives from the same stabbing incident in Nunnery Lane, Luton. But a few hours prior to that, there was also another connected stabbing event with another teenager stabbed and in critical condition. So thoughts and prayers to all concerned. Let's hope justice is served. If anyone has any information, of course, reach out to the police. Perhaps you have dash cam footage, CCTV footage, doorbell camera footage. I'm not overly familiar with Luton. I believe that's where Andrew Tate comes from. Could have that wrong. And he describes the area as being rough. The pictures that we see of Nunnery Lane, it looks quite respectable to me. Looks like quite a nice street. But even so, perhaps it is riddled with gang activity. Let's hope the investigation continues unimpeded. Let's hope that justice is served. Let's hope that the authorities get on top of these gangs. You're going to have to apply quite a lot of force. It's a major issue, gangs, knife crime. The issue isn't going to go away if everyone's just mollycoddled, given half-assed sentences, given passes left, right and centre for being troubled individuals. They've got to be banged away for a very long time. They've got to be investigated. The level of intelligence amongst the authorities, the police force, has to increase, meaning, the knowledge they have of the gang members, of the gang activity. You need to get on top of it. You're going to have to crack a few eggs to make an omelette, and I hope they do that. Do I have much faith? No. From my point of view as a complete layman, it just seems that these issues just get worse and worse and worse. It seems that the English police force, from my estimation, just doesn't have the willpower, perhaps even the political will, to enact adequate force. It wants to dilly-dally. It wants to give passes, doesn't want to risk offending certain aspects of the community, certain groups within the community. It doesn't want to ruffle feathers, and that's the wrong approach. That approach just fosters continued gang activity, and these gangs, they make money. Their nefarious activities yield profits, and with that, they're just going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to expand. They're going to continue to cause harm and detriment to communities throughout Luton and throughout other cities as well. It's only going to go away if the authorities are tough. So I don't see that happening in a hurry. Perhaps there will be a breaking point at some point, but not for a very long time. There's so many more things that could happen to disrupt society prior to the police acting tough. So I have very little hope. Such a shame. Again, it looks like a nice street to me. I'm sure the majority of residents just try to mind their own business. They go to work, they look after their kids, they try to build a nice, pleasant life for themselves, and they're having their attempts thwarted by gang activity, no doubt. So it's a terrible situation. Again, full condolences to all those touched by these tragedies. A 16-year-old boy stabbed and killed. At least 3 others stabbed, 2 in critical condition. Let's hope and pray that all of the injured do pull through. I'll wrap things up at this point. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit, and take care.